Hey there. Recently, one of my recent subscribers commented that one of my videos was awkwardly nerdy. She said it in a very friendly way, but I just wanted to let her know that I take that as a badge of honor. I'm proud of that. I'm proud of my nerdiness. And, I'm not really the typical nerd. I'm not going to make anybody forget Bruce Jenner, but I am a better than average athlete. Oh, by the way, if you're a younger viewer, Bruce Jenner isn't just the guy who's the stepdad of Kim Kardashian. When I was 6 years old, he was known as the greatest athlete in the world, believe it or not. But in any case, yeah, I've had a nerdy background. Yeah, I had the good grades and all of that, but that wasn't really what made me nerdy either, because I went to Stuyvesant High School in New York, which is like a magnet school where all the best junior high school students in the city take an exam to get in. So, I was never ostracized as being the smart kid, because we were all the smart kid. So I wasn't really nerdy in that way. I didn't feel nerdy in that way, but the way I was truly nerdy was social awkwardness. Very, very much so. And I want to give you a great example of this. And let me preface this by saying that I have nothing against Dungeons and Dragons or people who play Dungeons and Dragons. As a matter of fact, one of the people I played Dungeons and Dragons with, it wound up being the best man at his wedding. He's one of my best friends, so nothing against Dungeons and Dragons, but I know you're already saying, aha, plays Dungeons and Dragons. He's a nerd. Well, yes, but that's not what really makes me a nerd. What really makes me a nerd is the reason why I started playing Dungeons and Dragons. I've never told this to anyone before, but I'm going to say it now. I'm not really a Dungeons and Dragons type of guy. I'm not into the whole sword and sorcery stuff. I don't go to Renaissance fairs. Really, I know this is going to be shocked to people that I play Dungeons and Dragons with, but I'm not into that stuff. I'm really not. As most of my friends who know me, I'm a big-time sports guy. I just got my Jets season tickets after waiting 11 years. Woohoo! I am so much into sports. I like to talk sports, do sports stuff, so D&D would not be my thing. However, as I said, very, very awkwardly nerdy in high school. Couldn't talk to anybody, couldn't talk to girls. So, someone I knew from junior high who turned out to be my best friend, he invited me to play Dungeons and Dragons, and I went ahead and did it. And the reason why was I figured, well, I'm not very social. This will get me a social group. I'll come out of my shell a bit, and maybe I'll get to meet girls. Yes, consider that for a moment. I started playing Dungeons and Dragons in the hope that I would meet girls. If that doesn't define nerdy, I don't know what does. Okay. And obviously it didn't work in a direct way, but oddly enough, my strategy of playing Dungeons and Dragons to meet girls, it kind of worked in the sense that, I did come out of my shell. For those of you who saw my February 26, 1987 video about that girl in my chemistry class, my friend who I played Dungeons and Dragons with became my best friend in high school, and he was the person who really helped push me towards telling this girl how I felt. He even personally delivered the rambling 30-page love letter I wrote for her. He delivered it to her. And that was a big rite of passage for me. And without that, I would have never gone on to be more open and more brave with girls and eventually, meet and court my wife. I'm sure of that. So, in a way, it did, in the end, help me meet girls. I also was thinking about it today on the train and stuff, and actually it literally did help me meet a girl who was a very important person in my life. Now, she wasn't someone I was ever, had romantic feelings for. The primary reason really was first impressions. When I first met her, this girl, she was a year ahead of me in school. She already had a boyfriend. My best friend had a thing for her. And at the time, I had that massive obsession on that girl in my chemistry class. So all the things considered, when I met this other girl, romance was not on my mind, and she became kind of like a big sister to me. And I really mean that sincerely. Became a very important person in my life. When she went off to college, we used to write letters to each other when I was still in school and she was in college. When I got to college, we write more letters to each other. And these were long letters, like, 20 or 30-page letters at times. And yes, I went to college in the days before email. I'm old, okay? We actually wrote letters, we put stamps on them, we mailed them. These are handwritten 20, 30-page letters. So, and we spoke a lot about, emotional stuff. I had a lot of emotional issues, feelings I had for girls and, things not working out. And admittedly, if I look back on it now, it's probably just a lot of whining. But for one reason or another, this girl who I wrote to, she indulged me. She wrote back, gave me lots of great advice, and she would tell me about her problems and her issues, and we went back and forth. And she really was one of my best friends. And there's even a point where I was feeling really, really down, and she sent me this beautiful picture she drew. She drew it with, I guess, colored pencil or something. This nice big picture. And I wish to God I could show you this. When I thought about this on the train, actually it was yesterday, I was going to show you this picture as I made the video. And I've been searching for the thing for a day and a half, and I can't find the picture. And it's killing me. And if I find it, I'll make another video and just show you the picture. It's beautiful. It's like a knight with his head bowed in agony. It's got the sword plunged into the ground. There's like a little bit of blood coming out of the ground. And it's not gross. It's not goth or anything. It's just really, it's a beautiful, kind of almost uplifting picture she drew for me. And that's really the kind of relationship we had. It was really nice, and I never we used to have long talks on the phone, like 1 or 2 hours, going over just emotions and problems, and so I hadn't thought about it for years until I started thinking about this video, and I'm like, God, I got to get back in touch with her. Because, since we both left college, we've gotten in and out of touch multiple times. Kind of lose touch. Actually, I ran into her once just randomly in Boston when I was visiting there with my girlfriend, who later became my wife. We ran into her while we were in Boston just randomly. We got in touch again, then we got out of touch, and we get back in touch. And a few years ago, I did some digging. I just did a Google search or whatever, and I found her email address, and we got back in touch again, and we exchanged pictures of our kids, because now we're both married and both have kids. So it was nice. And then my computer crashed, and I lost the email address and all that. And admittedly, I know her name, I know her husband's name, I know what high school she went to, I know what college she went to. And all it would take was just a tiny bit of digging, and I could dig up this information out in the internet pretty easily, I would imagine. And I'll admit, I haven't bothered to do it for the last couple of years. I just haven't bothered. And I was thinking about why. And you know what it is? When you have someone who's really special to you in your life, and you don't see them for a couple of years, and you reconnect, it's really great, because you talk and you reminisce and you catch up, and it gives you this nice warm feeling inside. And then a little bit of time passes, and you realize, we don't really have a lot to talk about anymore. And in that way, reconnecting with an old friend can really be bittersweet. But I think that the sweet really does outweigh the bitter. And so as I was preparing to make this video, I decided, yeah, let me go ahead and try to contact this friend again. Haven't really done all the research yet. In fact, I know some people that might have her contact information. In fact, one of my subscribers who I knew from back in high school, who I've referred to earlier in the video, actually might have her contact information. Because I once gave it to him when he asked me for it when I had it. So in any case, I'm rambling now, but I'm just nice to think about old friends and talk to old friends, and it's nice to reconnect. And I'll probably try to do that again. And if I do, I know I'm just babbling about my personal life here, but I'll talk to you guys about it. And so once again, everyone be good out there. Keep your friends close, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.